Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And this morning we're going to look at this little radio right here that was sent to me by, and I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'll just spell it out, TIVDIO. Don't know how to pronounce it. But they sent me this model V-116. Now, I did a review on the V-115, which I purchased. And if you go back to my previous shows, you'll see my review of that radio. This one is kind of similar, but yet not. So we're going to show the differences. We're going to do the report card on this radio, similar to what we did on the V-115. So here we go. First thing on the report. Oh, I believe, because I already threw, well, let me see. No, there's nothing in the box. So I believe it just came with the radio and the manual and the battery. I don't think it came with a set of earbuds, although it might have. And since most of these radios do, I just kind of threw it in the drawer with the other earbuds. So I don't remember. So I'm looking at the box to see if it's not a big deal either way, because those earbuds are usually the dollar store earbuds, so they're not a big deal. Okay, let's see what's on our report card. First thing we're going to look at is look and feel of the radio. And that's overall look and feel. And it's kind of talking about the construction, how the joints are, the finish. Now, the joints are nice and clean. The finish is a dull finish, which is good. That means it won't show fingerprints. Nice speaker grill there. Let me get back in the view of the camera. That would help. The lettering on the buttons, pretty easy to read. Display, I'll talk about that later. So, look and feel is pretty good. It fits in your hand nicely. Note that this is a $35 radio, and I'll get into the features in a few minutes. So, overall look and feel, I'm going to give it an A. And first I got to have something to write with. Oh, okay, here we go. We'll get something right here. Nope, there we go. So we're going to give it an A. I see nothing, it doesn't look cheap, plastic. I think it's an A. Let's just go on. Readability of the display and the nomenclature on the keys. So I'm going to turn it on now. Here's the power button. You push and hold. There's the display, and it got a little reflection there. Oops, let me get the right angle here. It looks better in person than it does on my camera. Very easy to read. The display is kind of small, and of course it's kind of nice. Let me punch a key here. It's got a nice backlit green, and it's a real backlit, so the light is evenly dispersed instead of having side lit. So that's good. Like I say, the lettering is pretty easy to read. The lettering on the buttons, as I said before, is easy to read. So, readability, A, easily an A. I like that green display with it's a true backlit display, so it's nice and even. Okay, power options. Now, let's open up. Let's turn it off first before we go fooling with the battery. Goodbye. Okay. So the battery compartment is right here, opens easily, and it uses one of these cell phone batteries. Very common cell phone battery. A lot of these really compact radios are going with these batteries because they don't take up a lot of space and they give you a lot of capacity. So that's what it's using. I suggest, though, that if you get one of these radios, or any radio that uses this kind of battery, you get a spare, because unlike radios that use like AA or AAA, You may not find them at your country drugstore, so you need to get yourself a spare and charge it up. Oh, that's one thing it did come with, which is around here someplace. Oh, it's over there. It did come with a short USB cable for charging it. It plugs in right here. It's a common connector, but it's one of those funny shaped connectors. So that's how you charge the internal battery. Typically, you won't find, unless you have a cell phone that uses that battery, you won't find an external charger for those kind of batteries. So you have to charge it in the radio. Not a big deal. So that's the power option. It does not have a separate AC adapter port. But if the battery is dead, and let me see if, hold on one second. Yeah, I was, oh God. Man. Whew, boy, that thing was stuck in the charger. I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll put a correction in the comments. I believe you can power this radio with this adapter. Now, it doesn't come with this. This I bought myself. I got 5 of these for $5. Pretty handy. So I think if the battery is completely dead, it will play using USB. I'll try that at the end of this video. So power options, good, not excellent, because it's using that cell phone battery. I'm going to knock it down to a B. Still being kind of generous, maybe it should be a C. Tuning. Okay, this thing, okay, I hope I don't say okay too many times during this video. Sometimes I get in that okay mode and I can't stop. All right. Where was I going to do? Okay, I said okay again. I was going to turn it on. Okay, I turned it on, and the only tuning method is this tumble wheel right here. And we are in, obviously not in tuning mode. Let's go to menu and see if I can get that backlight to stay on. Okay, we're going to tools, and we'll select that. Buttons are a little small for my small fingers. I mean, for my big fingers. Okay, backlight, that's what we want. We want backlight. We hit menu again. 15. That's probably 15 seconds. Backlight again. And it says 0 and 15. So I'm guessing it's either off or it's on for 15 seconds. Okay, we're going to leave it on 0 and see what happens. Okay, let's go out of menu. Out of menu. Okay, back to short. Here we go. And we'll go back. No, I don't want to select it. No card. Okay, I didn't want to select it. I want to select radio. Go back to radio. Okay, radio it is. Okay, I selected radio. There we go. Waiting. There. It does take a while for it to respond to commands. Now, let's see if the backlight stays on, because that's what I'm hoping. The backlight stays on all the time. I realize that it's going to drain the battery using this backlight, especially this one because it's nice and bright. But when you're learning to use a radio or you're looking for stations, you want that backlight to stay on. So you can, once you get it set up, you can have it turn off and set it back to 15 seconds. So setting it to 0 does keep it on all the time. Excellent. Good job, guys. Okay, so tuning, I said okay. Tuning is I must be in capture mode. I don't know why. There we go. Now I'm still in capture mode. How did I get in that mode? Here we go. I don't know why it wouldn't tune there for a second. For some reason it was in tuning via these two buttons here, up down buttons. So I was trying to get it back into manual tuning over here. So there's two ways to tune. And now it's tuning, and it is very precise tuning. So I think this is a digital, let me turn the volume down. I think this is a digital encoder here, so it steps instead of continuous like analog, which makes it very precise, is what I'm trying to say. Now let's see, let's turn the volume back up and see if it mutes when it tunes. Doesn't seem to mute. I'm tuning pretty fast. Good, excellent. No muting on tuning. I love that. Radios that mute when tuning, which a lot of them do it nowadays. For me, no. No, I don't want that radio. I want to hear what's going on between frequencies. All right, so the tuning is excellent. I'm going to give the tuning an A. So far, this radio is looking pretty good. Audio quality is the next item. I can't illustrate that because of my recording system that I have here. You're not going to get the full effect. I just have to tell you. Let's go to, we have to be a little careful. Let's go to medium wave.
The XYZ, and we're doing such and so for whoever. Send us your credit card information, and we'll take $20 out or whatever.
Send us your credit card information? Yeah, send me your credit card information, and I'll use it. Oh, boy. As you can see or hear, lots of volume, very clear. I have it now at, let's see, 10 out of, hold on, here we go.
Center carrying any victims out on their backs, or Black Lives Matter, or Antifa. Has anybody seen any of them there? Of course not.
Okay, I had it set for normal hearing. I had listening, not hearing, listening. I had it at 10 out of 30. And you saw what happens when I went to 30. Yeah, it was extremely loud. And like I say, my microphone is way over there across my desk. So audio quality is excellent. Excellent for this little tiny speaker. So I'm going to give that an A. Special features. Now, this radio has enough. Okay, this, I said okay again. And I'm glad I don't have to pay you a nickel for every time I say that word. Now, it has two methods of playing from memory cards, which other radios don't have. A lot of radios have this right here, which is your little tiny SD or TF that they call it card. A lot of radios have that. This one has a full-size USB connector for a memory card. Excellent, excellent. Matter of fact, I have one right here. This should have the YouTube free music on it. So we're going to plug this in on the fly. And it immediately goes to that mode. And it's scanning the disc. That's what it says. And it's about 200 little clips on here. And it's now playing. And it gives you a whole bunch of functions in this mode. It gives you a little equalizer spectrum display of the music. And you can, it's got an equalizer in it. You can change, whether it's more bassy or more treble or whatever. And it gives you a lot of data of what's going on. And you can, I don't know if you can read it or not, but it said on that particular music file, it gave you what the title was. And this one says Beethoven YouTube audio. So this is the audio that you can get off of YouTube for your YouTube channel. And it tells you the track, it tells you how many seconds into the track, all kinds of information. Like I say, a lot of things you can change. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it uses a full-size USB or the little guy down here. Pretty nice. I'm going to turn it off before I rip that thing out of there. There we go. So this is a little cumbersome, you know, having that hanging out there. So you got to be a little careful you don't break anything off. Keep that in mind. All right. So that's one special feature. It's AM, FM, shortwave. Now the question is, and unfortunately I didn't see it in the documentation, but I think it's on the box, is the short, yeah, here are the bands. And what we're interested in is the shortwave band, which goes from 3.2 to 21.85 megahertz. And I believe it's continuous. It does have FM stereo out the headphones, of course, because it only has a mono speaker. It has, now here's special features. Here's two other special features that I don't think are very useful. Maybe in a pinch they'd be useful. Is it has an e-reader. Yeah, it has an e-reader. So you can put a text file on your memory card and it will read it, but of course the display is really tiny, so only thing I think you could use that for is like notes, you know, short little notes maybe. And it also has a perpetual counter, so it's got a counter function. I don't know, a sleep timer. Almost all these radios now have a sleep timer. What else? Now, one thing I did notice, when I went to charge it, I plugged it into my computer that I was running. The computer was on and I was reviewing a video or something. And when I plugged it in, and of course the operating system, the Windows operating system, saw it. It installed a driver all by itself, and the music started playing through this thing. And I'm like, uh-oh. Now this computer is expecting to have this thing plugged in all the time. But as soon as I unplugged it, the music went back to my speakers that are connected to the computer. So everything's good. So that's another function. If you don't have, which most people do, if you don't have speakers for your computer, this can act as a speaker, amplifier and speaker. Or if your speakers blow out, in a pinch you can use this for a speaker. Another special function. I think that's about it. The telescopic antenna is pretty short, which you'd expect because it's a small little radio. So I'm going to give it an A on special features. The fact that it has the big USB port, so you don't have to buy a TF card if you already have the big USB. But be careful with that connector. So I'm going to give it an A on special features. So the only thing left to do is reception test. And I've been making this excuse that, number one, I can't really do reception testing in this office with all the electronics creating noise. So I won't even attempt to do that. Number two, what I typically do for these little radios, that this does not have an external antenna jack. So you're going to have to clip onto the telescopic. For these type of radios, I usually go to a park away from other electronics. The weather has been really horrid. it's either been super hot or raining, which means it's super humid too. So I haven't done that. But this week, the low temperatures have finally dropped below 80 degrees here in Florida. So fall is on its way. So probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'll be able to do some field testing. And I got a whole bunch of radios that I got this far on the scorecard, and I have to do the reception test. This will now be in that same group. All right. So it looks like we've got an easily A. Again, this radio is, I lost my notes here, $35. $35 on Amazon. I will add the link to Amazon down in the description of this show so that you can go through that link and I get a small commission if you buy this radio or if you buy anything else if you use that link. All right. Now, let's take a second. Now, let's go back. This is the one I reviewed before. This is the one I purchased. This one was given to me by the company. And they're going to send me some additional ones to review, and I thank them for that. This one is quite a bit different, and you can go back to my previous show. It's about 5 or 6 shows ago about this one. This is the V-116. It does not have the... oh, there's my card. It does not have the full-size USB port, but so you have to use the TF cards if you want to use that MP3 player. Otherwise, it's very similar, and that's about all I can say is it's similar. It does have a different, or is that a different? Yeah, it does have a different USB connector for charging the battery. It does have... This cover is always hard to get open because I don't know how to open it correctly. I'm not going to fight it. Go back to the other show. You can see what kind of battery it's got. But this has AM, FM, MP3 player. Very similar to that one. Different display. Actually, this display is a little smaller. But with that green backlight, it's really easy to read. This kind of has a grayish, bluish background. And I think it's side lit. Let me see if I can get it to come on. Yeah, this one is side lit. See the LEDs down there? Readable, but I prefer the real backlight ones like this have. This one was on sale when I got it. It was on a really good sale on Amazon for like $17. Or maybe I got it off eBay. I think I got it off eBay. Yeah, I got it off eBay for $17. So this one now on Amazon is $26, and this one is $35. Little different animal here. This does not have a numeric keypad like this one does. So this one you can direct tune. Some other small differences. I'm going to write next to this one the grades I gave this guy, just for comparison. I gave it, and here they are right here, I gave it a look and feel of an A. I gave it readability of B. That's because of the side lighting. Power options, I gave it a C. I don't remember why I gave it a C. That's interesting. Tuning, I gave it an A because of the numeric keypad. And audio quality, I didn't write down what I gave it for an audio quality. I stopped writing those things down. I think it was, I remember now, it was an A. And special features, because it has the MP3 player and all that stuff, I gave it an A. So they're running pretty neck and neck. This one is doing a little better, and it's it's a judgment call. So it depends on what you want. If you really want the numeric keypad for direct tuning, this is the way to go. If you like the better display, this is the way to go. There are probably some other differences. I will do a show trying to point out those differences on a side-by-side comparison. And then, of course, I'm going to take both of these to the field and do a field test. So I think that's about it. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is this radio, the display and the buttons are almost identical to a DGen DE27. Now, I don't have a DE27, so I can't show you side by side. It's also very similar to the Grundig G2, although the Grundig G2 is stereo, has 2 speakers. The display has a little more information on it than this one does. So, like I say, the guts of this and the display are almost identical to that DGen radio, which I considered a pretty good radio. So that's it. If you have any experience with these, let me know. I want to thank TIVDIO for sending me this radio for a review, and we're going to be doing some follow-up shows on this radio, reception testing, comparing it to other radios. Like I say, I do have a radio that looks a lot like this. I'll dig that out and show you that it's very close. That's it. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. That was a lot of rambling. Have a great day. Bye-bye.